Okay, here are a couple of examples to help you work through your homework this evening. Um, you had 2 through 22, the evens. I will do a couple of the odds for you. Number 3 is 2 to 18, which can also be written as 2 over 18, which is the way I prefer to write ratios. And then it says, because it says to write each ratio as a fraction and then put it in its simplest form. Well, I know that I can divide both the top and the bottom by 2, which then when I do that puts it to the simplest ratio of 1 to 9. And that's what that ratio says. That was number 3. Now you'll have one that's like number 7 where you may not be able to reduce it all. Number 7 says 7 to 9, and that is number 7, by the way. Let's put that down just a little bit so you can see it. And to take 7 to 9, you put it into a fraction. You go 7 to 9. 7 goes on the top. 9 goes on the bottom because the first number goes on the top. Bottom number goes, or the second number goes on the bottom. I'm going to also show you one more. We'll quickly do number 11, which is down here. If you see my pin creep up, it says 70 homes out of 125 have a personal computer. So this is number 11. So I take my 70, which is my first number, and that's homes out of 125 have personal computers. I can divide the top and the bottom by 5. So I can divide this by 5, and I can divide this by 5. 70 divided by 5 is 14, and 125 divided by 5 is 25, and that's as low as it can be reduced, so it's simplified to 14 over 25. Remember, when the next part of 14 and 16, it says find a unit rate, that means that you're going to find how much of whatever is over top of one of the other thing. For example, number 13 says a skydiver falls 144 feet, that's how far he falls, in 3 seconds. Sorry, I shouldn't probably make it on a curved line, so I'll go 144 feet, that's bouncing, over 3 seconds. What you want to find out is how many 144 feet is over 1 second. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. So I divide 3 by 3, it gives me 1 on the bottom. I take 144 and divide it by 3. I can show the work by saying 144 divided by 3. I take my 3 and it goes into 14 4 times, which is 12. So 3 times 4 is 12. I subtract. 4 take away 2 is 2, and 1 take away 1 is nothing. My next step is to bring down my 4, which now makes it 24, and I know that 3 goes into 24 evenly 8 times, which is 24. I subtract and have nothing left over. So my top number then, the answer is 48 feet per second, because the 1 you can either have or not have, but it winds up being 48 feet in 1 second. The last thing I had you do was up through 22, which was to complete each statement. You're going to have to think on these. These are going to be a little more challenging. You probably do not know for number 18, which I probably shouldn't have done, is taking gallons to quarts. 18 through 22 we're going to be challenging. To find 18, it's 1. This is number 18. and it's 1.5 gallons or 1.5 gallons per 1 minute. This is GAL. They want you to turn that into quarts per hour. Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So to make this 1 hour, I have to multiply this by 60, and I have to multiply this by 60. Because if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So 1 times 60 is 1 hour, and 1.5 gallons per minute. If I multiply that by 60 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. I 0, I carry my 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. And there's one number behind the decimal point, so it's going to be 90 gallons in an hour. And they want to know how many quarts. Well, that's 90 gallons, but there's 4 quarts in a gallon, so I have to multiply the top number only to convert that by 4, because there's 4 quarts per gallon. You have 90 gallons. 4 quarts over 1 is going to be equal to 90 times 4 is 0. 9 times 4 is 36, so it's 360. Oops, excuse me, that should be a Q, quarts per hour. It was probably unfair of me to give you those 3 problems. If you didn't get them, it's okay. We'll cover them in class, and no stress on that. See you tomorrow.